Hello. Hi there. I'm Brenda Paradiso, and I want to welcome you to our Sunday service via live stream. You should be receiving our live stream either on Facebook or YouTube. I know many of you folks prefer Zoom because, well, you like Zoom. It's easy and you get to feel like you're with one another, but I'm hoping that you like to receive your worship service this morning this way because we can do a lot more fun things with our production when we stream to YouTube and or Facebook. So you will see that things are a little bit different this morning in this particular service, and I hope you enjoy it. I want to let you know that you can make comments and participate in the chat. That's one way you can interact with one another during the service, and we really do encourage you to do that. So, what do you say we get started? Hello again. My name is Brenda Paradiso, and I'm a ministerial student here at the Institute for Spiritual Development. And I would like to welcome you to our online Sunday service. The Institute for Spiritual Development is a God-centered, spiritually inclusive metaphysical institution and community dedicated to our growing spiritual awareness in an atmosphere of unconditional love and acceptance. Welcome home. And I'd like to offer a special welcome to those of you who may be joining us for the first time. And by way of an introduction, I'd like to share with you the declaration of principles that unite us as a congregation and a spiritual community. And those of you at home, please follow along. I'm going to scroll the words at the bottom of the screen so you can join me. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that infinite intelligence expresses itself in all existence and in humanity as a manifestation of divine love. We affirm the unity of all life everywhere. We believe in communion with all planes of existence, and that meaningful communication flows from this connection. We affirm the divine right of the individual to seek the truth in accordance with their consciousness, and that living in harmony with that truth defines true spirituality. We affirm the spiritual unfoldment is progressive and unending, and that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any soul. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the mandate, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. We affirm the personal responsibility of the individual and that we choose our happiness or unhappiness as we apply the laws of the universe. We affirm that life is eternal and that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We believe the ultimate expression of God in our life is unconditional love of our neighbors and ourselves. We accept that the living gifts of prophecy and healing, reported in all sacred scripture, are an affirmation of divine spirit working through us. So, there you have it. This is who we are, and this is what we believe. And we consider it an honor to share the next 45 minutes or so with you. We are about to enter sacred time. We are about to make this time and this virtual place and the physical space that each of us occupies sacred by our presence and intention. So please, Set aside any distractions, and as you do, I invite you to let loose of any of the worries or concerns that you may carry with you at this moment. And let go of any of the distractions that might deny you connection to your deepest self. So I'm about to play some music. And when I do, I invite you to create an altar. Prepare an altar for yourself right there on that table next to you. You don't need very much room. You can gather a sacred item or two or three, perhaps light a candle, fire up some incense. Also, I'd like for you to place a bowl upon your altar filled with a bit of water. We're going to be using it during the healing portion of our service. Also, please prepare a small container full of salt. We're going to be using that too. So, if you are not called to build yourself an altar, maybe just use the next few minutes. We're going to spend about 5 minutes building our altar. Maybe use those few minutes to settle in a little bit more, get another cup of coffee, get extra comfy. So I'm going to begin the music now, and I will see you on the other side. So please join me now in reciting the Unitarian Universalist version of the Lord's Prayer, written by Fred Culp Jr. And again, I'll scroll it along the bottom of the screen for you to follow along. Indwelling God, who art infused throughout all existence, we hallow thee with many names. Thy kingdom is within the human heart. We accept life for all that it can be, on earth as throughout all creation. May we continue to draw sustenance from the earth, and may we receive forgiveness equal to our own. May we ever move from separation toward union to live in grace with love in our hearts forever and ever. So mote it be. So let's prepare now for meditation. I have a short reading that I will do, which will be followed by some moments of silence for you to meditate quietly on your own. So let's begin with a few deep breaths. We're going to inhale love, and we're going to exhale gratitude. And I will lead you. Here we go. Feet on the floor, shoulders down. Relax your face and jaw. Inhale love. Exhale gratitude. Inhale love. Exhale gratitude. One more time. Inhale love. Exhale gratitude. The human heart beats itself. We don't know what makes a heart beat, other than the fact that it beats itself. We don't know why it starts beating, or when it will stop beating. The fact is that no matter what we do, good or bad, responsible or irresponsible, our heart nourishes us by continuing to beat itself. It is always sustaining us. Therefore, the heart does not have a concept of judgment. It flows with whatever we choose and continues to support us. All human darkness comes from feeling judged, even though we are never judged. The sun is the heart of our solar system. No matter what happens on planet Earth, the sun continues to shine upon us, rising and setting. At night, the moon waxes and wanes. The moon's light is a reflection of the sun's light. No matter what happens, the sustaining rhythm of the heart is present. The heart cannot pass judgment because its nature is rhythm. That's all the heart does. It lives and beats. Believing in your heart means that you are your heart. Your heart is part of the one heart. Believing in your heart is not something you do because you feel you are wrong or bad or lost. You are never lost. because you have always been present and experiencing every step of your journey. There's nothing to accomplish for the sake of the heart. The heart is all there is. Behind every moment you think you are not peaceful or feel dissatisfied, the ability you have to feel that way in the first place is always enabled by your heart. You can learn to see this when you feel afraid or find yourself in any type of place you don't want to be. Connect to your heart and breathe. When Brother Jesus talked about believing in your heart, he was not talking about belief in something. Jesus was not talking about believing really hard that a mountain would drop into the sea, or believing really hard that he died for your sins. Anybody who has stared hard enough at a cup and tried to believe it into floating has realized that this kind of believing doesn't work. Instead, Jesus proclaimed that the larger our belief in the heart becomes, the more we extend our sense of identity into the larger heart of the universe, which is God. A miracle is a perception a person has while awakening to the universal heart. Like many other miracle workers, Jesus always emphasized that miracles are meaningless because they extend from the exact same heart that sustains everything, whether it is a miracle or not. Miracles happen all the time when you believe in the heart, because the heart is the miracle. So now I believe it is time to bring in our beloved Reverend Rob for the announcements. It's time, folks, for the prosperity portion of our service. Don't you miss her? Yeah, she's been a bit lonely, but well taken care of. Reverend Fran and Sylvia have been grooming her outside, and other folks have been tending to her insides. Reverend Rob, Reverend Olivia, and others have visited her and shown her lots of love. She even got a special cleaning to host a small intimate wedding yesterday. She has needed some special attention these past few months, which the finance team has been able to address with the help of your generous contributions. As we've kept all the systems running and even done some repairs. Ready and able to open her doors to welcome us back as soon as circumstances allow. In the meantime, ISD has been stretching its wings as we've been enjoying worship, classes, and fellowship virtually these past few months on Zoom, and as we are today streaming on Facebook and YouTube. It's been a new and exciting, excellent adventure, and we appreciate your flexibility and patience with all of us as we make our sea legs. Technology involved. Do stay tuned though for some new initiatives as we plan to incorporate online services and offerings indefinitely. We've seen our community thrive. Awesome technology. And even though we're not able to gather together, ISD has continued to thrive as well. Like all families during these challenging times, we've had to adapt, but again, with your generous contributions, we've moved through the past several months gracefully, I dare say. And we've also developed some enthusiasm for this new medium called live streaming. I, for one, have learned so much. The first live stream service Reverend Rob and I presented in May. We've learned how to wrangle the technology, the hardware, and the software involved. And this is how we send our message out into the great beyond. And it is our intention, with the help of continued support from our generous members and congregants, to continue to professionalize our live streams and online offerings. And it is in this spirit that we are encouraging you to consider making a love donation or renewing your annual pledge with this new initiative in mind, along, of course, with the other ongoing expenses involved in maintaining our spiritual community. Again, as we pass the virtual offering plate, I direct you to the link for the donations in the comments. And again, we thank you for your generosity, especially during these times that are so difficult for so many. And now we proclaim together, divine love always has, and divine love always will answer all of our needs. And now I offer this prayer. Creative Spirit, source of love, we give thanks for the beauty of this day and for the company of those assembled here. Thank you for the breezes of change, clearing our heads and bringing fresh ideas. May they cleanse our minds of the oppressions and the isms that divide us. Thank you for the flame of hope, the heat of righteous anger, the warmth of compassion, and the fire of commitment. May they bubble the cauldrons of transformation. Thank you for oceans of love, rivers of connection, tears of relief, and pools of serenity. May healing waters flow over us and through us and among us, wearing down the sharp rocks of despair and bring joy in the morning. Thank you for the good earth beneath us, around us, and within us. May we take this clay and co-create a new realm of justice and beauty. Thank you for all of these and more. We accept our gifts and commit to building, sculpting, painting, singing, and dancing them into life, into abundant life. So mote it be. Alrighty, now I'm so excited because we've come to the time in our service for us to receive a beautiful message from our guest speaker. I'm very pleased to introduce you to my friend, Jennifer Kudashov. Jennifer is a local wife and mother. She's a very accomplished woman. She has a master's degree in psychology. She and she is here today to share a special messages with us. And I would like for her to tell you more about that. I will let her do the explaining. So Jennifer, the floor is yours. Thank you, Jennifer, for the beautiful message. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today for our Sunday service. I want to remind you that we are going to be having fellowship. Rob will be hosting it via a Zoom conference. You will see the link there in the comments. So now I am going to offer our closing prayer and follow that with opening the circle. Father, Mother, God, Creator that is the all that is, we live in a time of dis-ease of the body and of the mind. We struggle to navigate the stormy seas of uncertainty and fear. Help us, Divine One, to remember that we have chosen to be of service in this particular moment. Teach us to be your way shower. We live in a time of great discord. Among our brothers and sisters, we struggle to remain humble and hopeful among the cynics and the selfish at heart. Help us, Divine One, to remember that we have chosen to be of service at this moment. Teach us to be your way shower. We live in a time of disconnection from one another, from our living planet and all its inhabitants. We struggle to move gently within the realm of matter and maintain the serenity of our spirit soul that is our birthright. Help us, Divine One, to remember that we have chosen to be of service in this particular moment. Teach us to be your way shower. We live in a time of great breadth and depth of tribulation and recognize not all of the challenges before us. Some we stumble over in the dark. And yes, at times we struggle to feel your guiding hand as we reach through the shadows of doubt and judgment to tend the heart fire that illuminates for ourselves and others the path of love that brings us closer to you. Help us, Divine One, to remember that we have chosen to be of service in this particular moment. Teach us to be your way shower. So mote it be. By the earth that is her body, thank you, North. By the waters of her living womb, thank you, West. By the fire of her bright spirit, thank you, South. And by the air that is her breath, thank you, East. As above, so below. The circle is open. May the peace of the goddess be forever in your heart. Allow the warmth of this sacred space and the community we created today to inspire and nourish you in the days to come. So mote it be.